Hey guys, I'm Stephanie, and this is Steph Stove, and today we're going to be making a cobbler. Now, I've made many cobblers before on here. Peach cobbler, blueberry cobbler, sweet potato cobbler, but today we're making none other than a chocolate cobbler. Now this one is going to be decadent and rich and ooey gooey, just delicious. So, let me show you how to put it together. Okay, first thing we need to do is we need to preheat our oven to 350 degrees, and then we're going to prepare our pan. Like most cobbler recipes, you would preheat your pan with your butter in there to get it nice and melted first, and we're going to do the same for this. Now this particular recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup or 12 tablespoons of butter. And remember, save your wrappers. Now, you don't really have to cut it up, but I think it just makes it easier for it to melt. So I'm just going to chop this into smaller sections, just so we can get an even melt in here. Now, while our oven is preheating, that's when we're going to go ahead and put this in so this butter can melt nicely. And again, we're preheating to 350. So let me stick this in the oven. All right, and while that's preheating, let me go ahead and get a bowl over here. And if you're wondering about the pan is about a 2-quart dish, and I'll measure it out and give you the exact measurements of my dish when we're finished if you want to try to get a similar size to that. Now for this, we're going to mix together our dry ingredients. Now, just to save us some time, I went ahead and measured this 1 cup. I'm just going to move this around just a little bit to kind of add a little bit of air to it. Then we're going to add some chocolate chips to it. Now I'm going to be using milk chocolate chips. If you want to use milk chocolate and dark chocolate or dark chocolate, it's completely up to you, whichever combination you want. So this is 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. And I always like to kind of blend my flour and chocolate chips together first to get the flour coating around the chocolate chips, so they'll be nice and suspended. All right, then we're going to add to this. This is 1/2 cup of white brown sugar. Put that together. A 1/3 cup of granulated sugar. Got to have it sweet. And I'm blending after each one to be sure that they're nicely incorporated. All right. Then I'm going to add to this. This is 2 tablespoons of Hershey's cocoa, and I'm using 100% cacao. You want it unsweetened. Which I'm adding in here. I told you it's going to be chocolatey goodness. Blend this together as well. All right, now we've got that kind of nicely blended, so I'm gonna set that to the side. Over here, I've got some milk. This is 1/2 cup of milk, and we're gonna add to it some vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And yes, I'm adding this to the milk mixture. So we have all of this together. Mix this together to be sure that it's together nicely. Okay, that looks like it's combined nice and pretty there. All right, so let's move this over. There's some little chocolate chips stuck in there. I gotta get them little jokers out. Get out. All right, so now I'm going to make a little hole here, add my milk with my vanilla into my chocolate mixture. We're going to mix this together until it's nicely combined. Make sure you just press and get all that flour mixture combined in the bottom. Always mix from the bottom so you can get them all together. Some fudgy goodness going on here. All right, now I'm going to set this to the side. Yummy. Now, in a separate bowl, I'm using a 4-cup batter bowl for this. We're going to mix some remaining ingredients. Now, as soon as our butter melts, we're going to pour this, spread it evenly on top of our butter. And then we've got our chocolate that we're going to sprinkle over that we've got to have ready to go. So that's what we're doing in this separate bowl here. So in here, this is 5 tablespoons of cocoa. Let me mix this to get any lumps out. All right, that's good. One-4 cup. My bowl is still spinning in there, of brown sugar. It's light brown sugar. Blend that together. 2/3 of a cup of white sugar. So you see we've got a chocolate explosion that's going to be going on. Blend this together. And then set this to the side. All right, our oven is up to temperature and our butter has melted nicely. Let me carefully get this out. See all that wonderful butter melting around there. Look at that. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Move this over just a tad. All right, now what we need to do is we need to take our batter mixture and we're going to pour this evenly over the bottom. Now this is a thick mixture, so I like to scoop it because it's a lot easier to do. Get it all over the bottom as even as we can. That's why the scooping method works a little bit better. So we almost have, should be the consistency of like brownie batter. All of that out. Alrighty. Scrape all this off. And then we're going to try to evenly spread this in the pan. Just do the best you can. All that butter that's just going to envelop. Oh, this cobbler is going to be good. It's going to be good. You say that's a lot of butter. Well, we didn't put any butter in the mix. So this is where our butter is going to go. Spread this. This is evenly in the pan. And yes, you're going to have a lot of butter around. Not a big deal. Okay, move that to the side. Now, our powder mixture that we had, that we created, we are going to sprinkle this all over the top. Like I said, if you are a chocolate lover, or some people say a chocoholic, you are going to love, love, love this chocolate cobbler. Get all these last little drops out, and I'm just going to push that around to get it everywhere. Don't stir. All I'm doing is just kind of throwing it around to the edges gently with one finger. But again, we're not stirring. We want it to kind of melt in and create like a little syrup effect. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, to the side here, it's a little hot. I have, this is 1.5 cups. I'm gonna have to use my pot holder for this, of boiling water. And you wanna take your boiling water and pour it all over the top. And when you're pouring it, oh, the smell of that chocolate. It's got like a hot chocolate smell. Good, good, good. Now, we need to pop it back in the oven and get this baby cooking. So, let's get in the oven. All right, we're gonna pop this in the oven. So be very careful as you do this because we have a lot of liquid in here. Remember, this is already nice and hot. You wanna see up close what it looks like going in. It's very liquidy, so just be very careful as you place it into the oven. If you want to do this on a cookie sheet, if you're a little bit, you think that'll be a little bit more steady for you, that would be a great idea. All right, this is going to cook for 30 to 35 minutes or until our edges are nice and crunchy and our top is set. So we'll set my timer for 30 minutes. See you back in a few minutes. All right, our timer's going off. Let's give it a check. Ooh, look at that beautiful cobbler. Look at that. Look at that chocolate cobbler. Look, beautiful. All right, let's get it up here. Get this close and get you a little closer. Look at that. Look at that beautiful cobbler. Now our edges are nice and golden. You see our top is set, kind of has a little brownie-ish look. Now we're gonna let this sit and cool, and then it's gonna be time for us to dip it up and enjoy. All right, while our cobbler is cooling, let me turn my oven off. I'm gonna go ahead and show you two other things. One that I promised I would say in the video, and one I need to make a correction just for myself too. One, I said I would measure my pan. This is a 2-quart baking dish. I like it's a nice oval dish. I'm gonna measure it's hot, so I'm gonna kind of do it to the air here. This is 11 inches long and about 7.5 inches wide. So about 11 by 7 is what you're looking for, and you saw that it will be extremely large and then it will start deflating just a little bit. So that's the first for the measurement. The second, kind of got ahead of myself because I pre-measured all of my ingredients and I just grabbed one of my flour containers. The flour that we used in here is self-rising flour. I grabbed just to show you my White Lily all-purpose flour, but the recipe is actually my White Lily self-rising flour. And I just got ahead of myself and just had one there to show you, but it's self-rising, not all-purpose. So I wanted to clear that up. And as with anything else, I always put the recipe right down in the video description as well. So let this cool for just a few more minutes and then we're diving in. All right, this has been cooling for about 10 minutes, so it's time to dip and dig in. Look at that cobbler. Look at that. It's like a chocolate fudgy cake. Oh, look at that. And if it's this chocolatey fudgy, we know it definitely needs some ice cream. Look at that. Just yummy. I'm Stephanie and this has been Steph's Stove. For today, we made this yummy, it's still good and warm, chocolate cobbler with some vanilla ice cream. Look at that. Just chocolatey, luscious, veggie goodness. Oh, you got a chocolate lover in your life, this one's definitely for them. And it's so easy to put together. Just be sure you got some vanilla ice cream on hand too. So remember, give us a thumbs up, click that subscribe button for more great content like this. Steph Stove, we're making memories one dish at a time. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good evening.